Let's go to LeetCode 253 meeting room 2. And also this question give us meeting room intervals. That is a two-dimensional array. And each element is an interval array which have a start and an end. And return the minimal numbers of references rooms required. That is how many rooms, for example, we need to hold all of the meetings. So that is we trying to see those kind of intervals, for example, 0 to 30 and 5 to 10, right? 5 to 10 and 15 to 20, right? So we'll see here we need to, here we need to, right? So at least we need to meeting rooms here. So for this question, there are a lot of way to solve it. For example, so use some kind of heap or iterate way on someone, but if we use a heap, right, that is or as long as we use those kind of data structure, or we use such that time complexity will be n log n, right? And also with the linear data structure, because in the heap, the maximal worst case that we can put all of the intervals in the heap, so that time space complexity will be O n, right? So for me, I like to use the diff array, or we call swipe line, because it seems not it's not it's easy to get a correct answer, not hard to make mistake. So I do the swipe line way. So for example, we have several intervals here, right? So for every interval, for example, here, and here, right? Every interval for the start, we just use a +1 sign. And for the end, we have a -1 sign, right? And here we have +1, and then we have +1 and a -1, and then -1 and a -1, right? Then we just like a swipe line. Swipe line is that we have a line just goes through like this, like this go from the left to right, trying to see how many intersections we met, right? So the maximum will be 3. You see we have 3 in this, for this line, it has 3 intervals meted. So to solve this, instead we write a line to swipe from the left to right. Actually, we can use a sum variable, right? Sum variable, and here we just a +1, and here we just a -1 to see what's the maximum sum variable. It will be the most overlap. That is the meeting we need. One thing we need to consider for this kind of question is that here, these 2 meeting room, right? This end, for example, it just had the same time as the second meeting start time. For this kind of case, we need 1 room, right? So we need to clarify with the person who asks us questions whether this is 1 room or 2 room. If this is 1 room, that means we should calculate sum to -1 first, then +1, right? Otherwise, if we +1 first, the sum maximum will be, we consider this one as 2 rooms. So let's begin to write code for this. So so we know we're going to use a list, list of array called list to store every point. And for every interval, we are going to separate it to 2 points. For We are going to use plus sign as a enter event, enter as a flag as a enter, and use a minus sign as a leave event. So we need to so we separate those kind of intervals into points list. So we just need to sort this list. Here we have a comparator. The things that we need to sort by the time first. So time is the first array, right? So we'll compare if a dot 0 equals b dot 0. Then we'll sort by the second one. Otherwise, we just sort by the time integer dot compare a 0 b 0. Here the thing is that we have the enter as a plus one, right? And leave as a negative one. And which one we should calculate first? That is, we need to have that leave event calculate first. So we sort put a minus one before plus one. So we sort for the second flag in ascending order, right? So that we'll say will be integer compare A1, B1, right? And so we'll have some variable equals to 0, right? And we are going to, in the meantime, we have max variable as max rooms as 0. So we just for every point, right? Point in this. We'll have some plus equal 0.1, right? And after this one, we just trying to see whether this sum is greater than our maximum value, right? Max sum max. Then after this, we just return max. The time complexity for this would be because we have put every interval into 2 points, and there is a sort. So if there are n intervals, it will be 2n multiply log 2n, right? So that is n log n time complexity. Space complexity, we use a list for this, that is O(n).